Hello and welcome to another educational video about screen printing by Catspit Productions. Today's video is a quick tip video, quick tips for screen printing. Today I wanted to talk about what software do you need to create artwork for screen printing. This is a question that I get asked a lot through messaging and on my website. So I figured I would share with you what software programs that I use to create artwork. Now remember, remember that for screen printing, artwork is pretty critical as far as it needs to be created properly for screen printing, and it is not uncommon for an experienced screen printer like myself to not really know how to create the artwork, because this is why. What happens is you learn how to screen print, you learn what you need in your film and your artwork. You know what you need, and you know what works and what works best. But learning the software program itself and how to use the software in order to create what you need on film can be a whole nother part of the educational process in screen printing. So somebody like myself, I've grown up with screen printing, but I've always been on the printing side of it. I never learned how to create artwork. So now that I have my own business, I am having the need to create my own artwork. So I am learning how to create my own artwork. And fortunately I have resources in which I can send artwork out. I have several good artists. I have a brother in New York who does screen printing and stuff. So most of my artwork I can get done. If I can't do it myself, I can get it done. But for a lot of you who are starting out and costs and such may be a consideration in your job, and you want to give the artwork to the customer as an incentive to get the job, things like that. You want to do your artwork in-house, and the more artwork capabilities that you have as a screen printer, the more powerful your business will be, and you can get a good reputation for having good screen printing art for t-shirts as well. So it's another reason why people would want to come to you, is if you have good art. So with that being said, the software that I use to create what artwork that I do create in-house right now, as I learn and go through the process, I use a combination of three of the most popular programs. I use Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, I use Adobe Photoshop, and I use Corel. Now, Photoshop I use more as a tool for when people send high-res JPEGs and stuff, because Photoshop doesn't work with vector art, and with screen printing, you really want to work with vector art. So Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw will work with vector art. And vector art is different from image files in that it's, I believe, it's mathematical algorithms that create these shapes, where in image files it's like bitmap and raster, and they're like little dots or something like that. I'm not sure of the, but there's a big difference. And vector art can be manipulated and enlarged and tweaked and modified without losing resolution or without losing information. Whereas an image file, if you start out with a 20K image file, you're kind of, you can't do much with that because it's too low res. Okay, so Photoshop is kind of a tool to help, sometimes when you're working with JPEGs, or maybe you got to try to pull something out of a JPEG and then bring it into Illustrator or Corel, and you can vectorize it if you have enough information to do that. So also you might want to use a color separation software. Most of those seem to be plugins for Photoshop, and there are some plugins for Corel as well, I believe, that do color separating, and you can use those to help you automate certain processes. So those are always good to have if you can afford to get an extra color sep software. It is important to note that Illustrator is very capable, and it does have post-script capabilities. It's a little of a tongue twister there. So that means that you can actually output a lot of things from Illustrator, and it's actually probably worth the investment to take a class or something like that for Illustrator. Illustrator is very powerful, and if you know how to use it, it can be a great asset to your screen printing business. Alright, so as far as software, that's about it. Illustrator, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, and then I might once in a while use a quick, a separating software that makes it quick and has automated features. You know what I'm saying? It automates some of the processes for you, so it's quicker and faster, and you don't have to do every step by yourself. Okay. Another piece of software you might use is RIP software. RIP software will help you create dense film positives, and it will also give you the ability to print halftones. So RIP software can be important to use, and I worked without RIP software for the longest time because it can cost between $400 and $600, or it's not cheap. So I worked with RIP software without it for the longest time, but I recently purchased some, and I'm learning how to use all these programs in conjunction with one another, and I just recently bought a new computer, and I'm in the process of integrating all that and getting that all set up and stuff. I don't have suggestions for you as far as what RIP software to buy, or what color separation software to buy if you want to buy add-ons and stuff like that, plugins for Photoshop or Corel. I don't have anything like that. I'm still working with some of mine, and if I like them enough, maybe I'll recommend them at some point. As far as printers, for printers, you have to output some film with your artwork creation, right? So the most economical system for most printers is inkjet printers, are inkjet printers, and the Epson inkjet printers will dominate the market for RIP software and things like that. In other words, RIP software is made with, a lot of them are made with the configurations for Epson printers. So if you're thinking about buying an inkjet printer for screen printing, for outputting inkjet film, an Epson printer is good to go with, and you can find some pics of mine. I have an inkjet printer page on the equipment sales part of the website that's more informational. It's there for you to check out some of the Epson printers and stuff that are available that might work for you. Alright? And that brings us to inkjet film. What inkjet film do I use? Well, I use my own inkjet film that I sell on the website. I call it Catspit Super Inkjet Film Positives. It's considered a non-waterproof inkjet film, so but it works very good. It provides really really dense film positives without RIP software. It just seems to receive the ink really good, and I like it a lot. And the non-waterproof is really cheap, so you can buy it and use it. And if you ever had a situation where it weren't printing dense enough, you can always double up film. I don't suggest it unless you have to, but there's actually an article on the website on the Catspit Super Inkjet Film page where you can buy the inkjet film. There's an article there, or a link rather, to an article on the blog that shows you the tweaks that I used to use when I wasn't using RIP software, and those tweaks helped me get the inkjet film really dense as possible without RIP software. And with the Catspit Super Inkjet Film Positives, I was getting really dense film positives where I didn't have to double them up or anything. The most you might have to do is adjust your exposure time a little bit and see where the perfect exposure is. But that's what you have to do with any piece of film. So, okay, so I think that's it. That's about it for today. Maybe that wasn't such a quick video. I rambled on there for a little while about artwork and stuff, but hopefully it gives you some information about it and helps you out. Thanks a lot for watching my videos. I really appreciate that. Please help support the project and keep the free informational videos and screen printing information and all this stuff coming at you by visiting the website. And if you need any print supplies, please visit the print supplies page on the Catspit website, where you can use discount promo codes to buy screen printing supplies, and saves you a little money, and it helps keep me being able to produce videos for you and stuff. So I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.